In the context of modern agriculture, the application of technology in the production process is gradually becoming a key factor in helping farmers optimize productivity. Instead of spending hours on hard labour, machines can now harvest quickly large quantities of crops from vast fields. Parsley is a well-known aromatic herb, commonly found in most kitchens in Italy and beyond. It is primarily used to garnish various dishes and as a natural flavour enhancer. However, parsley is a very delicate plant, easily damaged during the harvesting process. Farmers use modern machinery as a solution to ensure the plant is not harmed in any way. Parsley can be grown year-round. It is harvested 2 to 3 months after sowing when its height exceeds 20 centimetres. Harvesting machines cut with precision, with the cutting height adjusted by special sensors. Meanwhile, a specialised front cutting head ensures maximum protection of the young plants during transportation. After cutting, the parsley branches fall onto rollers positioned just behind the blades. These rollers gently pull up the parsley without breaking or damaging the leaves. In some modern machines, there may be preliminary cleaning components to remove dirt and impurities from the parsley branches as they are conveyed onto the conveyor belt. The parsley branches are then transferred to a storage bin. This bin often has an adjustable height to accommodate the harvested parsley. It also has a layering and light compression function to optimize storage space. When the bin is full, the parsley is unloaded from the machine into trucks or storage areas. Parsley continues to grow even after numerous harvests, as long as the right methods are used and the harvester operates efficiently. Farmers typically wait at least 7 to 10 days between harvests to allow plants time to recover. The harvester also plays a crucial role in the cultivation process, helping to increase productivity and protect the quality of certain flowers such as tulips. Around April to May, tulip fields start to bloom, and tulip cutting machines are used to cut the flowers immediately. The machine head is equipped with sharp cutting blades that work in tandem with conveyor belts to cut the flowers from the stems. These blades are adjusted to a specific height to ensure that only the flowers are cut without affecting the leaves or bulbs. Machine cutting not only speeds up the process, but also ensures that the tulip fields don't get exhausted. This process can generate 2 to 5 new bulbs, allowing the yield for the next season to multiply several times over. At the same time, it prevents the bulbs from depleting their nutrients. After the tulips are cut, the plant continues to grow leaves for around 6 to 8 weeks. During this period, the tulip leaves continue to photosynthesize, helping the bulb underground accumulate nutrients. In the summer, when the tulip leaves have fully dried and turned yellow, this is a sign that the bulbs have reached their maximum size and are ready to be harvested. The tulip bulb harvester is specially designed to gently lift the bulbs from the soil without damaging them. The system uses blades to dig up the soil, pulling the bulbs out of the ground. The conveyor then transfers them to the cleaning units. This process removes soil, roots, and other impurities attached to the bulbs. After being cleaned, they are transferred to a storage bin at the back of the machine. Next, farmers take them to the processing plant for a series of steps to ensure the bulbs are well preserved. A water spraying system gently washes the bulbs, ensuring they are clean and free of impurities. They are then meticulously inspected for any abnormalities or diseases. Farmers separate the healthy bulbs, which are stored in warehouses. High-quality tulip bulbs are used for the next planting season. The machine has an automatic system that deposits the tulip bulbs from the storage bin into pre-prepared planting trenches. This ensures the bulbs are evenly distributed and planted at the correct density. It also has the capacity to plant thousands of bulbs per hour. Huge machines move across large fields in a short amount of time, ensuring that the coffee is harvested promptly at the right level of ripeness. The gentle shaking process targets only the ripe coffee cherries, protecting the trees from damage and allowing them to continue growing for future harvest seasons. Though simple in design, the machine can replace even the most delicate harvesting tasks. Coffee harvesters are typically equipped with shaking rods. This structure helps gently harvest the coffee cherries, keeping the trees safe and maintaining the quality of the fruit. As the machine moves into the rows of coffee trees, shaking or vibrating components are adjusted to gently shake the coffee branches. This causes the ripe coffee cherries to fall from the tree. The machine is designed to focus only on the ripe ones, minimizing the risk of picking the unripe. After the coffee is shaken or vibrated loose, they are collected in containers below. Usually, the machine has a system of gathering plates or conveyor belts to collect the fallen beans and transfer them to the next processing step. The machine can also be integrated with preliminary cleaning systems that remove leaves, branches, or other impurities that may have been collected during the harvesting process. This reduces the workload for coffee processing later on. The harvester can operate continuously for long periods without tiring, unlike manual labor. This helps increase productivity and profits for farmers. Another mechanical device favored by farmers is the onion harvester. Before the machine is put into operation, the onions are typically pre-treated and the soil is loosened to facilitate the harvesting process. The onion harvester is equipped with components similar to plough blades. These parts are adjusted to be gentle but effective in uprooting the onions. After loosening, the onions are lifted from the ground. During this process, the machine retains a portion of the soil around the onions to prevent bruising or damage. Once the onions are uprooted, the conveyor system transports them through preliminary cleaning components. Here, soil and onion leaves clinging to the bulbs are removed through a vibrating mechanism. This reduces the processing work needed later at the factory. The sorting system uses conveyors to determine the size and direct the onions accordingly. Smaller or substandard onions are discarded, reducing the workload for processing. After the onions are cleaned and sorted, they are transported further along the conveyor to storage bins or large containers. The conveyors are designed to transport the onions without causing bruising or damage. When harvesting by hand, there are often risks of bruising or missing onions, but with a harvester, these issues are significantly minimized. Since the uprooting and handling process is automated, the quality of the onions is ensured. This is especially important for those meant for export or fresh sales. The harvester increases work efficiency, allowing farmers to harvest more quickly. This is particularly valuable during seasons when harvesting time is limited by weather conditions or market demands. In addition, modern machines are equipped with sensors that automatically adjust the depth of the plough teeth based on the soil's hardness. They can also be used on different types of terrain, helping farmers save on equipment investment costs. On rainy days, when the fields are too wet to work, the farmers climb into their horse-drawn carriages and head to the auction barn. There, they might bid on 1 or 2 horses or chat about tobacco. This is the interesting life of Amish farmers. Lancaster County in Pennsylvania is home to the largest Amish population in the world. You can often see horse-drawn buggies working continuously in the fields. You may even witness the Amish farming in the old-fashioned way. So why is Amish agriculture so successful? Some traditional crops cannot be harvested by machinery due to their fragility. However, this is not an issue for the Amish. They make efforts to combine their scientific knowledge and experience to maintain their traditional farming methods. This type of farming benefits both their families and communities. The Amish are regarded as excellent farmers, growing and storing most of their own food, and only buying staples like flour and sugar from stores. Spring lays the foundation for the rest of the agricultural season in Lancaster County. As winter ends and the ground begins to soften, the Amish are busy preparing the fields for planting. As autumn approaches, cold air starts creeping in, and the corn leaves change colour. This is also when the farmers begin their harvest. It takes many people to harvest a field. If machinery takes about 6 hours, in contrast, the Amish would take 3 to 5 days to complete the task. Traditionally, the Amish used horse-drawn equipment to cut and bundle the corn before loading it onto a wagon and grinding it into silage. Harvesting early sweet corn is perhaps one of the greatest tricks of Amish farming. They need to pick the corn before the livestock start grazing on the pasture. The Amish plant corn on small family farms, usually ranging from 50 to 100 acres. With traditional farming methods, their corn yield is not high, but it is enough to meet the needs of their community and livestock on the farm. Some Amish farmers may also use basic corn shellers, operated by hand or foot, to speed up the shelling process. The kernels are separated and collected for storage or used in the next season. By alternating crops within a season, the Amish can achieve faster growth rates and better yields. The Amish typically do not use chemicals or pesticides. Instead, they rely on natural farming methods such as crop rotation, organic fertilizers, and natural grass feeding to maintain soil fertility. Studies have shown that their soil contains higher levels of organic matter when compared to neighbouring conventional farm plots. Organic matter is key to corn nutrition and helps resist pest infestations. Tobacco is the largest commercial crop in Lancaster County, generating around $28 million annually. Although the area of tobacco cultivation has decreased, it remains a valuable crop despite its labour-intensive nature. While other farmers use modern machinery, the Amish still maintain manual methods from the 19th century. Tobacco is planted in March and usually harvested in August or September. During the harvest season, entire Amish families can be seen in the fields, cutting each stalk by hand with knives. An Amish tobacco harvesting crew typically consists of around 6 to 10 people, depending on the size of the field. Additionally, they must keep an eye on weather conditions to ensure the leaves are not damaged by rain or intense sunlight. After cutting, the tobacco leaves are sun-dried, just enough to become pliable, but not too long to prevent scorching. The wilted stalks are then threaded onto 4-foot-long wooden poles, with each pole holding about 5 stalks. This is physically demanding work, requiring skill to ensure the stalks aren't damaged. Once the farmers load the tobacco plants onto wagons, horses pull them back to the barn. At the barn, workers lift the 40 to 50 pound poles onto rails to air dry. The drying process can last over a month, depending on the manpower available. Finally, the dried tobacco leaves are pressed into bales and ready for auction or direct sale at the farm. This drying process enhances the quality of the tobacco leaves. The leaves dry evenly, maintaining consistent colour and preserving their natural flavour, which increases their commercial value when sold. Due to its limited machinery use, the Amish tobacco harvesting process is very environmentally friendly, minimizing emissions and pollution. They primarily rely on manual labour and use renewable resources from the farm. These characteristics not only reflect their commitment to traditional methods, but also highlight their sustainable and nature-respecting way of life. Amish horse barns are usually built simply yet sturdily, using natural wood materials. The barn must be spacious enough for the horses to move comfortably, with individual space for each horse. Farmers regularly groom the horses to remove dirt, stimulate blood circulation, and help them relax. Hooves are also carefully maintained, making it easier for the horse to move. Amish farmers care for their horses with meticulous attention and dedication, as horses play a crucial role in their daily lives, from working in the fields to pulling buggies. Many farmers often plough the fields at the beginning of the season to nurture the horses. The Amish rely on age-old experience to detect early signs of illness in the horses, primarily using folk methods for treatment. The Amish provide their horses with a diet mainly of fresh grass and grains. They believe that natural feed keeps the horses healthy and energetic for work. Adequate water supply is essential, especially when the horses work outdoors for long hours. Farmers are very cautious about the weather in the fields. Even though equipment can weigh over 1,200 pounds, the horses rarely sweat. Of course, they do not let the horses overwork. Farmers often rotate different horses to ensure each one gets sufficient rest. This helps the horses to maintain their health and energy for the long term. The Amish are also a community that has developed sheep farming. While they can't do much on these hills, they can raise sheep. Some Amish farmers started raising sheep because they offer higher profitability. They focus on selective breeding to maintain a healthy and high-quality flock. They often choose sheep breeds that are well adapted to the local climate and conditions. Every spring, farms in Holmes County, Ohio welcome newborn lambs. They are fed on milk for the first month of life. After this, farmers purchase starter feed for the lambs in order to prevent coccidiosis. The Amish rotate their sheep, grazing primarily on pastures. They may even move one group per week. Grazing allows the sheep to move freely on the pasture, developing stronger muscles and a robust immune system. Sheep that feed on natural grass typically produce meat and milk with richer flavour and higher nutritional value. Fencing can be an important part of some Amish farmers' operations. They are allowed to use fences for rotational grazing to prevent sheep from damaging crops. It is also very useful for protecting against predators. In addition to grazing, the Amish provide stored feed such as hay and grains to supplement the sheep's diet. The homegrown feed is chemical-free, ensuring the sheep are fed safe, nutrition-rich and healthy food. By the time the wool is ready for harvest, the sheep are kept in the barns while waiting for their turn. Farmers keep the wool intact in one piece to ensure the highest value for the fleece.